Well, howdy there, kids. It is I, your old mate DP. It has been a hot minute since we've done this. That's right. I am making an actual video. I don't even really know if I remember how to do this, so it could be a complete disaster. So despite the lack of videos, I have been live streaming quite a bit lately and having a great time here in the Debunkatorium with all of you. Thanks for showing up. But the other night, while we were watching Dirt provide one of his Dirt presentations, a couple of moments really stuck out for me, but one in particular. And it was kind of fitting because recently, and I don't know if you've noticed, Dearth has had a very weird, out of character bout of, oh, God damn it. What's the word? It's hard to remember because I never associate it with Flat Earth Dave. Oh, that's the one. Honesty.
And again, I believe the Earth is flat. I know it's not flat. I know it's not flat.
I'm just kidding. Obviously, that was a Freudian slip. He said so himself in that appearance. Dearth is just as full of crap as ever. Despite continuing to lie through his filthy potato teeth, Dearth has done something a little bit brave. He has stepped into the lion's den and faced off against one of my countrymen. He appeared on a YouTube show or podcast. I'm not really sure which one it is because I haven't researched it that hard. I'm very lazy, but it's called Andrew's Clubhouse, hosted by an Australian named, I presume, Andrew. It'd be kind of weird if he wasn't. But as you know, if you've ever seen memes or played video games, it's dangerous to go alone. And Dearth didn't go it alone because he was very afraid. He took Angels of Light with him, who I assume was just there to sort of back Dave up, say some stupid stuff, and get some much needed attention that I presume his parents didn't give him when he was growing up. Very sad. They've shown up and said all of the usual flat earth crap, but there was a moment that stood out while we were watching this on stream, and I was inspired to make a video because Dearth has done something selfless. He's done something generous. He has given a gift to humanity, and that gift, my friends, is that Flat Earth Dave proved the globe. That is right. Flat Earth's greatest champion has completely flipped. As he says, they always have to tell you who they are. They always have to drop some subtle hints. And Dearth has done exactly that by providing quite possibly the second best globe proof I have ever seen since the final experiment. It is outstanding. Take a look.
Because you can't see it because of angular resolution limits of your eyes. Somebody just sent me this video. Check this out. So again, we got nothing out here. He's zooming in. This is 26 miles away, and we get the NASA launch facility. Now, maybe there's a beach here. You can't see it. You got these trees here. Now, as things go into the distance, they get smaller, right? It's big, it's small, right? So if we push that NASA building farther away, it would get smaller and it would dip down below the trees, right?
Of course, yeah.
Of course. Okay. Yeah. So these trees, when zoomed in like this, you know that they're trees. They're above the water. So the trees are 100 feet above, the viewer. Okay. You can logically work that out in the recesses of your mind, right? So when we zoom out, watch what happens. All of this becomes your apparent eye level. All of this.
Yeah. At that point, yeah.
At that point, all of it. So now you have to imagine the sun. If the sun was going away, anything above that is going to go beyond it and disappear. It's going to look like it's disappearing below it. But and I just noticed in this right now, I'm going to stop right here. Look, here we got a buoy in the foreground, and everything's getting higher in the background. Everything's higher. Everything should be sloping down and away from you. You, from your point of view, are at the top of the world at all times. And everything, the farther away it is, should be going sloping down and away. But nothing slopes down and away. It all ramps up to your apparent eye level.
So we've all watched it together. Now I'm going to watch it with you. Here we go. The camera is just zooming in. You can see some land there. There was like a pole sticking out of the water. And as we zoom in further and further, boom, what is that? That is the vehicle assembly building at Kennedy Space Center. They build giant friggin' rockets in that thing. We'll just pause Dearth there because I want to give you some extra context. I was going to say content, extra context around that building. And here we go. So what you're looking at here, my fellow little globy demons, is something I made. I actually did some homework despite my terminal laziness. On the left, you've got the Statue of Liberty, the grand old doll herself, 93 meters or 305 feet tall. She is. The Saturn V is beside her, 110 meters tall and 363 feet. Those numbers are higher than the ones for the Statue of Liberty. Lower than that is Big Ben. It's a giant clock. Clock, I said with an L. 94 meters tall, 316 feet. And then we've got a Godzilla for scale because it makes me giggle. 120 meters tall or 393 feet. That's the one from the more recent movies because he looks pretty badass in those. And then they're obviously all beside the vehicle assembly building at a whopping 160 meters tall or 525 feet. It's also 518 feet wide from left to right or right to left. Either way, it totally works. I just couldn't be bothered converting that into meters and putting it on the screen, so I thought I'd tell you about it. But that gives you a some idea of just how huge this building is, which is why it's weird that Dirth decided to share that with everybody. If we go back, you can see the vehicle assembly building, but what we can't see is all of it, and that's because it's hidden for some inexplicable reason. It's very strange. You can see some trees here. We can't see the bottom of those trees either. We can't see whether they connect to the ground beneath them. Very strange, but we've got this water level here. This is water. I'm pretty sure, I'm not a rocket surgeon, but I'm pretty sure that's water, and that's a water level or a horizon of sorts. And these things seem to be behind said horizon, which is a bit weird. So what we're going to do now is a little bit of wizardry. So here, once again, we've got Dirth showing us the glory of the vehicle assembly building. They build giant rockets in that thing. The Saturn V's were built in there. The space shuttle was fully stacked. That's the center core, the two solid rocket boosters, and the giant space shuttle all stacked up in there before it rolled out to the launch pad. And more recently, the SLS with the core stage 2 solid rocket boosters, recycling, always a good thing. Plus the little bit on the top to fire people up into space. Very cool. And right now they're building Artemis 2. Will it ever fly? No idea, but they're building it. So that's cool. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. But again, it is obstructed. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be a little bit generous because quite often you'll hear Jez say, you know, we've given the globe the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give flat earth the benefit of the doubt because I'm not a monster. So we're going to draw a horizontal line and I'm going to put it just below the water line. So you can see it there peeking out over the top of the line I've put on screen. Beautiful stuff. And now I'm going to take this image of the vehicle assembly building. This is the whole building. It's not obstructed by anything. It's not exactly the same, like angle wise or anything else as the one there. We're just going to use it for scale. And I'm going to deliberately make it a little bit smaller than the one in the video that Dirth showed. Line it up with what we can see in Dirth's video. I have cut off the bottom of it to line up with that waterline, you can see. But now, if I do some of my NASA, CIA, Freemason, Tupperware demonic rituals, I'm going to expand this image using the power of my mind and DaVinci Resolve to reveal the rest of the VAB. And as it's slowly revealed, we get down to the bottom and holy ever-loving crap, Batman, that is a lot of building that you can't see in Dirth's video below the waterline. Let's just fade that back out so you can see. Again, there's Dirth's video, there's the trees, there's the waterline, it's all there. And then if we fade my image back in, and we'll keep that line for the waterline in front, there is a whole lot of building that we cannot see in that video because it's hidden behind that waterline, or more accurately, it's hidden behind the curve. Why would that be? It's because the Earth is a globe It's curving, and the rest of that building is hidden behind the curve. This is slam dunk globe evidence. It is an absolute home run. There is no explanation for that much of the building to be missing. And Dirth showed this while trying to convince someone that the Earth is flat, but there's not enough of that building visible to back him up. And his usual argument that you can zoom in to objects that have gone over the horizon or disappeared over the horizon like boats and bring them back doesn't hold any water at all, because that building is completely stationary. It doesn't move. It stays still. The observer can move, but the building's not going to go anywhere. And you can zoom in on that building all day long. And you know what's going to happen? You'll see the building get bigger as you zoom in, if you can, but you're not going to see any more of it. Now, obviously, that VAB is somewhat distorted by refractive effects and the effects of the atmosphere. And that's probably why we can see as much of the building as we can, because it's being raised up because of downward refractive effects. But regardless, not enough of that building is visible for the Earth to be flat. If it was flat, nothing would be hidden behind that waterline. We would be able to see the bottom of the trees, and we'd be able to see far, far more of that vehicle assembly building. Even if we say those trees are 100 feet tall, which they're not, but if we said that they were, we still can't see enough of the vehicle assembly building. Dirth, you, my friend, you're not my friend, you have proven the globe beyond a shadow of a doubt. You have no explanation for what is being shown in that video. There is no way out of the hole you have dug. You need to give up your grift. You need to shut down your app because it's all lies. You can pay yourself your 3 imaginary Bitcoin for your 1 globe proof challenge, because this globe proof is irrefutable. Jolly good show, Elmer Spud. It is fantastic. And with that, my flatty fighting friends, I'm going to take my leave and prepare for the very next stream, because it's fun as hell, and I really hope to see all of you in the next one. But until next time, I shall see you next time. Be excellent to each other and be good. If you can't be good, don't get caught. Love you, bye.